Our next speaker is a world champion of public speaking in 2015, five times TEDx speaker, 2020 nominee for the Educational Oscar Award. He'll be speaking about reshaping workforce dynamics, embracing AI for upskilling and career development. Please welcome Mohammed Qahtani, system analyst working for Industrial Security Department in Saudi Aramco.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hayyakum Allah jami'an. Now, before we start, I like to kind of energize you a little bit. We've had a long day, so bear with me. Anybody here who's born in January, February, or March, please stand up. If you are born in January, February, or March, please stand up. Now, those people standing, do me a favor. Put your hands like this. Don't clap them and don't hold them high, just at your waist. Yes, fantastic. Anybody who's born in April, May, or June, please stand up. April, May, or June, please stand up. Now, put your hands like this. Fantastic. Anybody who's born in July, August, or September, please stand up. July, August, or September, please stand up. Put your hands like this. Anybody who's born in October, November, or December, please stand up. And anybody who's still seated, something is wrong. For those of you, put your hand like this. Now, nobody move, please. You see, now when I post this picture online, I can say you guys gave me a standing ovation. So thank you. Please have a seat, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the early 1900s. Cars are just being invented. Two horses are having lunch. Hey, what's up? So, have you heard about this thing called the car? Yeah, the new invention thing, yeah. Do you think it's gonna replace us one day? No, I don't think so. Now, back then, horses were the main source of transportation, the main source of labor-extensive jobs. Let me ask you this question. Did horses go extinct? No. Horses are still around, but they're not used in the same way that they were before. Now, that conversation between these two horses can now be had between two employees in the office, at the cafeteria or at the water cooler, thinking about, have you heard about this thing called ChatGPT? Yeah, I have. You know, they think it can do anything. Yes, I guess so. Do you think it's gonna take our jobs? And this is a solid fear, or a very reliable fear for everybody. With the recent advances in technology, and we see what ChatGPT and other AI platforms can perform, you cannot help but wonder, is my job at risk? Is my employer gonna let me go just so he can give my job to an AI who can do it much better than me? See, ladies and gentlemen, what we do in every day in our jobs is the following. We analyze problems, we create a solution for this problem, and then we implement the solution itself, and then the rest of the day we just do routine work. The kind of thing that you do every single day, reading emails, reading reports, or doing Excel sheets, and so on. It's just routine work. Now, most of the time that we spend is on the implementation of the solution itself. And that's why you can tell that most of the solution that we have, either temporary, it's like a bandage on a broken arm, Why? Because we don't have that much time to spend on analyzing problems and creating creative solutions. Because we worry about the amount of time that we have to spend on implementing the solution itself. Now, implementing the solution and the routine work, this is something that could be done by an AI, which means it will free you to be able to do the creative work, the problem solving, and creating the solution. The routine stuff, or the stuff that you do in every single day, fine, I can outsource that to an AI to do. However, we have a problem. When you look at people in the workplace, not everybody is the same. Not everybody thinks the same way. Not everybody has the same knowledge or education as everybody else. Which means, I don't know if you heard this old saying by like Bill Gates. He said, I always choose a lazy person to do a difficult job because he will find an easy way to do it. You see, when I free the person to be creative, he will find a much efficient and much faster way to solve my problems. Doing the solution itself, I can do that, or I can outsource it to an AI. But again, not everybody is educated the same. I want to take you back to school. Do you remember in the classroom, there was always the top student, right? Dafour, صح ولا لا? There's always a top student, and there is always the student who is not performing well. And the teacher is teaching the same stuff to everybody in the same format, in the same style, which means only few students will understand, but the rest, they may not be able to grasp what the teacher is teaching. One of the best examples of teaching was Aristotle and Alexander the Great. He was a great coach. He was a great mentor. But why did it work? Because Aristotle didn't have to teach a bunch of people. He was teaching one person. And when I coach or teach one person, I can understand the level of intelligence that person has, the best method of learning that the person can relate to. And then I can use that method to direct my teaching style that fits a person like that. We talked about how AI is more advanced and now it's taken over, but maybe we can leverage AI in this field. The next revolutionary in education, it's called the digital Aristotle, which means every single person will have an Aristotle, a teacher, who will teach him in the way that he or she can understand. Do you know by the year 2030, 85% of education will be like digitized? Now, how would this work? Imagine an AI that gives you a problem, and he teaches you how to do this problem, and then he will test you. You do the test. If you pass, the AI take notes. All right, he understood it. He moved to the next one. If you didn't pass a test, the AI will teach you again, but in a different style. Maybe he'll use graphs, maybe he'll use animation, maybe he'll use whatever, and see if that actually works. And he will keep teaching you through different style and different method of teaching until he finds the best method for you to learn. And then he will take note of that. And now what you have done is you have created for yourself the best teacher who will know the best way for you to understand. And he will teach you through. Now, why am I bringing this up? Because let's face it, AI, no matter how advanced it is, it still needs us. AI relies on data. Who's going to provide it? We do. It relies on, it must know how to think. Who's going to teach it? We do. It's bound by machine thinking, which means no matter how advanced an AI can be, it cannot think like a human being. And that's why we would never get rid of employees. we're going to need them around, because who's going to teach an AI to think the way they think or act the way they act? Anybody here has heard of the trolley problem? Raise your hand if you have. Now, the trolley problem is something I'm going to explain to you right now. Let's imagine you are on an intersection, a train intersection, and there's a lever. In one side, there are 4 people. On the other side, there is 1 person. A train is coming, no brakes, and you're standing there holding the lever. What would you do? What would you do? Huh? You choose the 1 person, right? Anybody here would do the same? Raise your hand if you choose the 1 person. Now, they did this study, and yes, 95% of people made the same choice. You know what? I would choose the 1 person. Why? At least 1 person dies. It's better than 4 people dying. Now, imagine this. There's a train. Ahead the train, there are 4 people. The train is coming fast. There's a bridge. On top of the bridge, there is a fat man. You're standing behind the fat man. If you push this fat man, he's going to fall and die, but he will stop the train. Would you push the man? Raise your hand if you will. See, only 1 person. And in fact, when they did the study, only 15% of people answered, yes, I would push the man. Keep in mind, in both scenarios, the result is exactly the same. In the first scenario, 1 person will die, but 4 people will be saved. In the second scenario, the same. But you didn't push the man. Why? Because that's how humans think. If it's a machine, it would definitely push the man, because the machine only thinks in 1s and 0s. In fact, they did this test on an electric car. So they took an electric car and they put a passenger in the car, like a doll, like, you know. And the car was driving by itself in a busy street with a lot of people over a bridge. Again, all tests, so just like, you know, like mannequins. And then they blew up one of the tires of the car. And the car was programmed with always aim for the least amount of casualties. Always aim for the least amount of casualties. What do you think the car did? The car actually drove itself off the bridge, killing the person inside the car. Why? Because I thought, well, I'm killing 1 person, but I'm saving a bunch of people. But it still ended up killing you as a human. So you see, that's how, no matter how advanced AI is, it is still a machine, and we still need human to tell it how to act. Now, there are a bunch of AI platforms, AI learning platforms. I'm not here to advocate any of them. You can just go online and find the best way that will fit. But it's the time for us to let our people, let the organization that we are in, reap the benefits of this technology. You know, when we schedule our employees to go and take a course somewhere, again, it's a course taught by 1 person who's going to do 1 style of learning. Some of them might learn, the rest are not going to do the same. Leveraging AI means I can create my own teacher, a teacher who understands how I think and how I behave, a teacher who can change it or change his teaching method to fit my need, to teach me in the way that I can learn. Ladies and gentlemen, the script for this speech that I'm giving to you right now is actually written by an AI. I went online, I said, just write me a script, and he did. But I know an AI cannot come here and deliver it like I do. I'm not saying I'm a good speaker, but I have the human touch. So the people who are worried about that AI might actually one day replace me and take my place are like the 2 horses who are just wondering would cars make us extinct? It never did. However, if you are not a person who can learn, if you're not a person who can actually use this technology for your own benefit, then maybe it's time for you to go extinct. Thank you so much for listening.